Hi everyone, hope you are fine over there. So today we are going to start the intro video of class 12th mathematics chapter 10 vector algebra. So you are familiar vector algebra in class 11, vector in class 11, but if we are talking about commerce student, this chapter is new for commerce student. So before moving to chapter, let's understand which topic we will cover in this video. So topic to be covered: what is a vector? Second, we will cover representation of vector, position of a vector, direction, cosine and direction ratios of a vector, and last one we will cover types of a vector, isn't it? So before moving to vector, let's understand some basic concept of vectors or physical quantities. So we have here in physics, you are studying physics class 11, physical quantities. So what is a physical quantities? In physics, uh, we have studied, you have studied in class 11, physical quantities. There is a two types. First is scalar and second one you have their vectors. So in mathematics in class 12 chapter 8 we will cover vector over here. So before moving to vectors, let's understand what is scalar and what is physical quantities. So scalar has got only magnitude. Even vector have magnitude as well as direction, we can say. Isn't it? So scalar has only magnitude, and even then vector has magnitude as well as direction. So now question is, what is magnitude and what is direction, and how can we recognize which quantities is scalar and which one vector, we can say. So here your friend asks you what is your height. Your friend asks you what is your height, then you reply it is 5 foot 6 inch. 5 foot 6 inch. It is not my height, it is only whatever it is. So your height is 6 foot 5 foot 6 inch. So he will never ask you in which direction. It is only what is your height. He will ask only what is your height. He will never ask you in which direction. So it is a magnitude, we can say. On the other hand, we can say we have a block over here, isn't it? And if you act force on this block, so everyone asks you in which direction. If you act force this direction, so block will, the position of block here. And other way, if you act force on block in this direction, so block will come this place. So everyone ask you, if you act the force on that block, but in which direction? So force is the best example of vector, we can say. Here we take some physical quantities and we will recognize the vector or scalar. So first we have length. So length has no direction, only we can say magnitude. So it is a scalar, isn't it? And second one, mass. Mass only have magnitude, no direction. So it is a scalar. And time also. If you ask time to anybody, so you will say in which direction and what is your time, he will tell you 6 o'clock. So then you will ask him in which direction, so it is only scalar also. Money also scalar, you will know very well, money also scalar. And area, length and breadth multiply equals to L multiply B equals to area. So we in which direction area, so it is also scalar. And volume also scalar. And what about force? Earlier I told you, I gave the example of force, so it is we can say vector. Only one is a vector in this condition. So we can take more like velocity, speed, acceleration, and moreover. So that the physical quantity, but it is not related to our course. We will discuss only vector, but the actual realization, this only physical quantity, the actual condition, the physical quantity, but here we will discuss only vector. So in mathematics, vector we will discuss as a directed line only, not in physical scalar quantities and physical quantity. Vector we can choose here as a directed line. So let's understand now what is a vector and how to, this is the vector. Vector has magnitude and direction as well. And now we will discuss how to represent the vector. Let's see. Now representation of a vector. So we will discuss vector equals to as a directed line or nothing else. Directed line, isn't it? Vector is a directed line. How? We have a line, isn't it? But here if we take a directed line, so we have two direction. One directed line have one direction and other directed line have other direction. So if we take a directed line, so there is a 2 points here. First is A, B, and A is known, we can say initial point. Initial, A is a initial point. Even then, while we can say while B terminal point, B as a terminal point. On the other way we can say A is a tail, while B is head. So we can represent vector initial to terminal AB vector. This notation of arrow represent AB as a vector, initial to terminal, tail to head. And if we write the magnitude of AB, so we can write AB vector magnitude. If we represent directed line a single letter A, we can represent such a way, in such a way, and we can write the modulus of vector A or only A as well. So these are the representation of vector head to tail and tail to head, and we can denote single letter as well as a vector, as a B vector. We can denote single letter as well, single small letter we can say. And what is the magnitude? Now we are talking about what is the magnitude. Magnitude of any vector equals to length of this directed line, isn't it? So magnitude is the length of directed line. So we can say this arrow denoted, if we write AB vector, so we can say this is the magnitude, and arrow, if we put that sign denote direction, and this is the magnitude of any vector. So this is the simple way. More we cannot define it, represent it. This is the only easy representation of a vector. Now we will discuss position of a vector. We have a 3D space here. This is the x-axis and y-axis and z-axis, and all the 3D and vector we will take the coordinate axis in such a way. All the 3D and vectors we will take such a way x, y and z coordinate axis. So we have here as a origin, and we have point P in space. So we will find the position of this point P. So position is nothing, it is the length we take here vector OP. So always we will take position of any point with initial point as a origin, isn't it? So we can write this is the position vector of P. OP is the position vector of P. So we can write here position vector of P equals to OP vector, isn't it? So initial point is origin, and terminal point we will take point P here. So if we will find position of any point, position vector of any point, so we have to take initial point as a origin. So we can say if we will find here magnitude of this position vector, so we can take here magnitude of OP vector equals to, we will take under root x square plus y square plus z square. It is the magnitude of OP vector. We will discuss over here only actually position vector. We will discuss more about position vector later, but here we will only discuss actually what is a position vector. So this is the position vector of point P, and this is the magnitude. It is a position vector, and we can say it is magnitude. If we find, suppose we have unknown point over here, we don't know where is a point. So what is the position vector of that point? So the position, we denote that point as a r vector. We can denote OP r vector as well. We can denote unknown point as a r vector, and we can write here only r. So the r is the magnitude of OP vector, but also we can denote any unknown point, the position vector of any unknown point with r vector or only r. So this is the concept of position vector. Now move to direction ratios and direction cosine. Now we are talking about direction cosine and direction ratios. So in 3D space we have three axes, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and P, we have any point on this plane. So the distance from origin x-axis, this x, and y-axis we have y, and z-axis we have z in 3D space, isn't it? So now the point of P have x, y, z. So the position vector of P we have, earlier I told you OP is a position vector we have here, isn't it? So this position vector OP makes angle x-axis, we can say alpha, and the max angle with y-axis beta, and the last one its max gamma with z-axis. So here the angle alpha, beta and gamma we know as direction angle. What is it? Is a, these are the direction angles, isn't it? And the cosine of these angles is known as direction cosine. Direction cosine we can say, isn't it? So if we take a point A over here, so we got triangle OAP. It is a imagination only. So 3D and vector, the imagination only, not a basic concept. If we know very well the imagination, so we can easily understand this concept. So we have here OA is only imagination. So AP is a perpendicular OA, we can imagine here, and its make angle OP, make angle, this is the x-axis, and A is a point on a x-axis, you can see in figure, and OP makes x-axis angle alpha, isn't it? So we know very well cos alpha equals to base over, so base we have OA, and perpendicular we have hypotenuse, base over hypotenuse, so hypotenuse we have OP. So the distance of OA we have x, and the OP we have here position vector, so we can denote R. So cos alpha equals to x over R, we can write. Similarly we can write cos beta equals to x over R, y over R, and last one cos gamma we can write z over R. So we can denote alpha, beta, gamma as LMR. We can denote alpha, beta, gamma, L equals to cos alpha, M equals to cos beta, and last one we can denote N equals to cos gamma. So here we can say alpha, beta, LMN we have here, direction cosine. L, M and N we can write in short this is what we can write. We can write in short this is. So this is the direction cosine. And now we are talking about direction ratio. If we take here three numbers such that we have here A, B, C, three numbers, A, B and C, three numbers such that these numbers are proportional to direction cosine. So that numbers are as known as direction ratios. These are the, and we can write in short DRS. These are the direction ratios, and we can write in short DRS. So this is the basic concept of direction cosine and direction ratios. Now let's see relationship among direction cosine. So this is the relation L square plus M square plus N square equals to 1, isn't it? So how can we prove it? We can prove it because we have the value of L, we have value of L here, x over under root x over modulus R. So the value of modulus R we have under root x square plus y square plus z square. Similarly, the value of M we have here y over under root x square plus y square plus z square, and the last one value of N we have z over under root x square plus y square plus z square, isn't it? So if we put that value in LHS, then we can easily get the value of RHS. So this is the relation among direction cosine. Now we will discuss last topic we have here, types of vectors. Now let's understand types of vector. In types of vector, first we have here zero vector. So what is the zero vector? If the magnitude zero of any vector, that vector is known as zero vector. And what about the direction? Direction, we can say any direction, because it is a here magnitude is zero, so direction should be any, isn't it? So if any vector has magnitude 0, so that vector and direction we can say any direction, so that vector is known as zero vector, and we can denote zero vector 0 and we put vector here. We can denote it 0 and we put vector here, isn't it? Now second one we have here unit vector. So unit vector, what is the unit vector? Unit vector, so it is very important, we can say. So what is the unit vector? If the magnitude of any vector, one unit, not one, we can say 1 unit. What is the means of 1 unit? Suppose the distance of your home to school is 1 kilometer. So that 1 kilometer is a unit vector, we can say. And if we take this distance in meter, the distance of home to school, we have over here 1000 meter. So this 1000, only 1 meter, we can say 1 meter is a unit vector. We denote a cap, and a cap equals to a vector, a magnitude. If we will find the unit vector of given vector, so we apply this formula. So it is very important concept. Now we are talking about co-initial vectors. So you are familiar word concentric, coplanar, concentric, one center, two and more circle have one center. Similarly coplanar, two and more plane have one plane. So similarly two and more vector have same initial point. So such type of vector are known as co-initial vector. Now next we will discuss collinear. So what is the collinear? We have here collinear. So what is a collinear? Collinear, we can say parallel vector. So we can take one vector and we take another vector. A vector is parallel to B vector. So we can say that vectors are collinear vector, isn't it? It doesn't matter of direction, that vector are parallel to each other. So that vector we have collinear or parallel vector. So collinear vector is a, in other way we can say parallel vector. Now next one we will take here, we will see like vector, like vector. Another 6 we have here unlike vector, isn't it? So what is like vector? If vector have same direction, two vector have same direction, so that vector is like vector. Same direction, so like vector, and they have different direction, so we can say unlike vector, isn't it? So what is the negative vector? Next one we have here negative vector, negative of a vector. So negative, it means direction opposite, isn't it? We have a vector AB, so the negative of AB, negative of AB vector, we can write negative BA vector. So direction will be changed, you can see here, direction will be changed, direction changed here, and the A vector, negative of A vector, negative of A vector, we can write here minus A vector. So what is the negative vector? Direction will be changed, same vector and direction opposite, so that vector is known as negative vector. Now last one we have free vector. So we mention over here, without changing magnitude and direction, vector can be displaced. We can say we have a vector A, isn't it? So without changing its magnitude and direction, if we displace parallelly here, so it is a free vector, isn't it? Free vector is nothing, it is without changing magnitude or direction, if we displace parallelly of vector, then that vector is known as free vector. So we can take one more example over here. We have B vector and we displace parallelly, so we will get another vector. So we can say vector B is a free vector. If we displace in such a way, in this condition, vector is not a free vector. Let's see one more example here. We have two vector, vector A and vector B, and the angle between both the vector is theta, isn't it? So if we displaced both the vector parallelly such that A vector and this is B vector and theta angle between them, so both the vector are free vector, isn't it? So this is the concept of free vector. Hope you understood each and everything in this video, and thanks. If you have still any problem, so you can write in comment box. Thanks for watching this video.